To be honest, though, has it really been this long since we have done a Facebook Live? Do you count the podcast on
Yeah, we
Facebook
definitely
Live?
count the podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it's been a while since we've been here in the Fox Sports Ohio studios.
That is true. That is true.
So, of course, we welcome you into another Facebook Live edition. Thanks for clicking on Fox Sports
Are we
Ohio's
live?
Facebook Live page.
Oh, we're live.
I think that's your favorite.
Oh, we live, baby. We live.
Before we get to anything, I have two shout outs.
Oh, geez. Here we go.
Number one, because it is family and she is my sister. I want to give a shout out to my sister, Abby Barker. It is her birthday today.
Hi, Abby.
She's 32. I love you. Happy birthday. Hope your day is great. I haven't seen you in a long time, but hopefully that'll change soon. And it is also Gelman's birthday today.
Gelman, super fan, Jets fan over here. He's got his Jets thing. He's ready for the NFL draft.
But he works in Ohio.
I don't know. Hey, oh, you're from New York?
Yeah.
And you just picked the worst team to follow. Is that what it is?
I probably chose the wrong one.
You definitely. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. It happens, though. You know, you guys still have the whole Joe Namath thing. You know, they were just hold on to that as long as you can, Gelman.
I think what I really want you to know about that being his birthday today is that you should probably treat him nice today.
Probably not. Probably not. Where I'm from, your friends used to beat you up on your birthday. Right?
You're making that up. Oh, okay. You're not.
Not making that up.
Hey, Gelman prepared for us a new fun little exercise. Though,
Which is
to get
awesome,
your brain
which is
working.
why we're going to completely ignore that. That's going to be the first step in Gelman.
No, I actually kind of like it. The title of this, while you guys are all piling in your questions for Richard and I over the next hour or so, fill in the blank. Are you ready?
Yes.
The one thing people don't know about the transition from college to pro is?
In basketball?
You take it wherever you want.
The amount of downtime that you have.
When you should be watching film.
Yeah, film. The amount of downtime that you have is like the money. The money is, yeah, it is a big thing, and I think that's the first thing that always goes to people's heads. But that's not it. It's like when you're in high school, you're having to do X, Y, and Z. You're living at home with your parents, and you go to college, and it's training table, it's lifting, it's study tables, it's class. And all of a sudden, you go to the NBA, and it's just downtime. Like you can work out for 2-3 hours a day. You go home, but there's still tons of hours with no responsibility. And I think that's why guys a tendency to get in trouble. Guys are out, you're young, you're crazy, you have a ton of money. I think that's the biggest thing that people don't understand is that the downtime is what can either get you in trouble or it just kind of drives you crazy.
What was harder to adjust to, the downtime going from college to pro or from high school to college where your parents were no longer around?
No, I was ready for that. Yes.
You're ready for what?
No, so I'll tell you this. So Luke and I, Luke Walton, he's a Laker head coach. He was my roommate. We actually committed on our visit. I know I feel like I say these things all the time, but these are for the first time watchers, listeners, whatever. So I remember in our dorm room, we were co-ed dorms, and I'm sitting there. We were the social butterflies in our group. Everyone used to hang out in our room. We would crack jokes. Everyone would come around. And it took me probably about a week or two before there's something that was just off. Like we were watching movies and people would come over, and it was like I had never had a girl in my room before. I had never. Even my high school girlfriend, Selena Collins, when her parents were there, we weren't allowed to be in her room. My parents weren't allowing that. It's probably why I got out of high school without kids.
My parents had a rule that if you had a boyfriend or girlfriend, like whoever, you know, over, because my brother, the lights had to be on.
Well, it was lights on. Lights on don't matter. It's just more of like whether or not that door is closed. So college was the first time, my freshman year in the dorm was the first time I ever had like a girl in my room.
Did you feel like you were doing something wrong?
No, but funny story. Luke's going to get mad about this. So we were 18-year-old kids and we still had VCRs and stuff. So it was good. But nothing to lose. There was a Martin Lawrence movie with Tim Robbins. So we used to invite girls over and say, hey, do you want to come over and watch a movie? Right? And I don't know. We might have like snuck beer or something in our dorm. So we'd be like, yo, come over. And it was just like a running gag for me and Luke, right? We would never do anything. We were still 18-year-old nerds. So we would stick the movie in and then we'd drink beer and hang out. That would be like our Thursday night before class. And so we did it a couple of times. And then I think by the end of the school year, So we did the same gag that we would do all the time because we had games or stuff, so we just couldn't go out. And we weren't 21. So we're getting there, and these girls start giggling, right? And we're like, what's so funny? They're like, nothing. These two other girls in our dorm, they told us that they came over here and did the exact same thing. The exact same
You're
movie.
So lame. You're so lame.
We just died laughing and then kept watching the movie. Same movie. Nothing to lose. Never
How
failed.
original.
It was original. It worked.
The best part of having a week off between playoff series is?
Tell me. You work.
Downtime.
Downtime. You do the exact same thing. So what do you do after we get off the road for 4 days? And then you're back. So you're lucky because you're from Ohio. Mm-hmm. So you can go home, you can do stuff. But is it laundry, workout? What do you do?
No, we got home Sunday and I haven't even touched my suitcase yet, actually. So I don't do laundry. I just kind of like mentally debrief. I like to get back on a workout routine, eat a little healthier. I eat Blue Apron. I made a meal last night.
Shout out.
Yeah. So I just like to get back. Well, because of you guys, you give us a week long to do it. So it's really nice. Thanks.
You're welcome. I think that's the term that I would say if you said thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So yeah, that's what I do. What about you?
Nothing. We went to Kevin's house to watch the first Toronto-Milwaukee game.
And everyone fell in love with your Snap story again.
It's so funny. Me and Channing.
Channing and I.
God, I keep doing that.
I got you.
You just enjoy correcting. Yeah, so me and Channing, we decided to hang out at his house, typically make him cook food for us.
Kevin's house?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks. Are we just going to keep interrupting me? No,
I apologize.
You keep correcting. It'll get me right. And then tonight we have another team dinner. Bron and Kyrie, Kev, our big guys are really good at is keeping us kind of locked in. Mm-hmm. It's not you win, you have a week, and then you spray out. Everyone's gone, and you just see each other practice. We try and kind of keep it locked in for as long as possible.
Take me through, because I actually did a radio hit this morning, and the guys interviewing me were so gung-ho and geeked up about the VersaClimber because it was all over Snapchat yesterday. Not only was it you, but the Cavs did.
The Cavs like to bite my
Awesome.
stuff, man. I'm so tired. Like Channing and the Cavs. Like everybody likes to steal
Okay,
my...
that's not where I was going.
Yeah,
but,
whatever.
Alex did? Okay, Alex, this is for you.
Oh, I put on my Snap too.
Yeah, no, you did.
About this chick. So they put on, somehow we got a piece of paper like this in our locker that had all the VersaClimber records.
Yeah.
Like somebody did like 1 million feet in like a year, which breaks out into like 20,000 feet a day.
That's crazy.
No, it's absurd. No, and there was a girl on there. We're going to find out her name because it's on my Snap. Hold on a second.
Walker, something?
Yeah, but she was at Florida State. But the first person that we Googled that held 3 of the 7 records for females, they didn't even exist. Nothing popped up in Google. So that could be a lie. But the other person, and we've been looking for her because we want her to send a video.
Someone actually CC'd us on our road tripping handle.
About what?
About the girl that you were looking for on your Snap.
Oh, yeah, we're looking for her because we want to see it. We want to see it. Gelman, what are you doing over here?
Pop in front of here real quick.
Gelman, it's your birthday.
Hello.
Say hello. Gelman.
Down,
Duck. You know how camera works. Happy birthday, Gelman. Jenna Walkup. She's Florida State. I think she was a grad assistant or something along those lines. Yeah. But, like, we just want to see the video. Because I know if it's a VersaClimber world record, you have to have some sort of, it has to be a way to validate it and prove that it's real. So
what are your feelings toward the VersaClimber?
I like the VersaClimber. I think anytime it is a great cardio workout, but anytime like for muscles and body, anytime you're stuck in a machine and just it's not great for you in long terms. Like when I'm talking about people doing it for 4 months and records and all. But if you need to do what I would do it 3 times a week if I was really getting after. There's a great thing, Rise Nation in LA. It's a great class. It's a great place. I know
30 minutes straight.
They're not going to like it, but it's like Soul Cycle with a VersaClimber. So you get in there, it's just like a party, loud music. It's really intense, and it's a good, really, really good workout. All
right, we're going to turn to our those who are tuning in right now, just for now. We're done with it. Here on Facebook Live, we got some questions. Marco, what shoes are you rocking?
I don't know. So I am So people, we constantly go to this. We're not walking days. We constantly talk about whether college kids could be paid, and so this will be a segue. My high school team was sponsored by Nike. My AAU team was sponsored by Nike. My college team was sponsored by Nike, and I've been wearing Nikes my entire career. So Nike often just sends me stuff. These are the new Jordans that just came out.
No big deal.
So Nike, yeah, well, it's product placement. You see all that stuff behind us? That's all product placement. You see that thing right there? Fox Sports Ohio? Product placement. This right here.
We are in Fox Sports Ohio studios, though.
Product placement still. They could just put us a blank thing up there.
Those are nice kicks, though.
Thank you. I'm a big fan.
Alan, when is the next podcast?
We got a treat for you guys. So,
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh, news to me.
Listen. So Channing, I tell Allie, we're on all the group channels, me, Rafa, Channing. We're on a group text chain, and it was, hey, I got a treat for you. Guess what? Channing's brother and his roommate are going to come on. And she was like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm like, no. You don't understand. For all you people that love Channing and his kind of off the wall, his brother is the exact same, but just a nerd, non-athletic frat boy.
6 years younger.
Looks 12 years older, 5 feet shorter, and he went to Michigan. So everything that you can like his brother gets on there and starts telling stories. And so Allie, I think afterwards, she understood why I was like, this is going to be a really good podcast.
And if you're tuning in right now, Thursday, April 27th, 2017, the next podcast will come out tomorrow morning. And just wait till you hear what Channing's brother tells you about what happened during Game 3 of the Indiana series.
Yeah.
Don't spoil it.
I will not spoil it.
It is really
good. But we will be dropping Road Tripping Podcast. Download it and subscribe on iTunes. But, so the next pod comes out tomorrow.
This is really good. Madeline. I used to want to change my name when I was in middle school to Madeline. Explain the nickname Soho Yoga.
Explain the nickname. There's not a nickname. I own a yoga. So, okay. We got to go back to a year ago when I had zero social media. I had nothing. I had no Instagram, no Twitter, no Facebook, no nothing. Started joking around on Snapchat. People started liking, so I kept messing around, and somehow that kind of turned into a bit of a firestorm. But prior to that, I own a yoga studio, 2 now, in LA. Soho Yoga, there's one in Hermosa Beach. Shout out to Pete Niva, Natasha Needles, their yoga director, and our general manager. And then we just opened up one in downtown LA. So the whole thing.
Have you been to the studio in downtown LA?
Yes, I've been to it, of course. I haven't done yoga in it because we've only been there a short amount of time.
Okay.
But it started because when guys were trying to tag each other in pictures, they're like, Richard, you don't have an Instagram? You don't have a... I was like, nah. I was like, well, my yoga, because I have Instagram, and so I follow Soho Yoga, or I am logged in under that with 8 other people. So I was like, yo, just tag Soho Yoga, and it just turned into a joke. So that's how Soho Yoga came about. Follow us on Instagram, Soho Yoga.
You guys always have really good inspirational messages on there, too.
No, well, I started doing yoga. Part of the reason why I started owning a yoga studio, or I had the idea to open up one, is because during the lockout, I was losing my brain. Like, I couldn't just go to the gym for 3 hours without some sort of focus. So my friend Pete Niva and we were doing a bunch of basketball stuff, cross-training, and we started doing yoga. So I moved up to LA, and when I was living in Santa Monica, there was a great studio there, and people were driving 25 minutes from Hermosa Beach, where I live, to go and do yoga there. And I was like, Pete, why don't we just open up a really, really nice yoga studio there? And from that point on, once we started that process, it just kind of went crazy. We have hundreds of members. People love it. We're really community-based. We try and do as much stuff as we can in the community in Hermosa Beach, and we're doing that in downtown LA.
Doesn't hurt that you're a professional athlete, and now you've won a championship. So.
Well, it doesn't hurt. But part of the whole yoga thing was more of, I saw the benefits for my body. People go, Richard, how can you still jump at 36? How can you do? One is, I take care of my body. 2 is because I do a ton of yoga, which helps prevent injuries. It helps lengthen muscles. It just gives you a lot. It helps strengthen your core. So between that and volleyball, that's really all I do during the summer.
That's all you have to do to be a professional athlete.
That's all you have to do. No. To be an old professional athlete, that's all you have to do.
What's tonight?
What do you mean?
What happens tonight?
Are we talking about the NFL draft?
We are. Are you excited about it?
I could give 2.
Okay, who's your team?
My team are the LA Rams. That's my team.
How'd that work out for you last year?
Well, you know what? We moved to LA. Me and the
You
fam. Did? Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were.
The team moved to LA. The team.
That's another conversation.
What?
Like, if you don't play for the team and you're just a fan, can you consider yourself a we?
It's the term royal we.
It's I've like learned. When I say, we're going to win this weekend. The Ohio State Buckeyes are playing Michigan. It's like, we are going to win. And it's like, Allie, do you play for the team? Really?
Can you allow me to be a fan? Can I be a fan? Look, I'll tell you, I was born in LA, so all the people are like, I was born in LA, I grew up in LA, I lived there till I was 8. The teams all left to LA. I moved to Arizona. The Cardinals were crap for about 10 years, so I couldn't jump on that bandwagon. So my whole thing was the minute a team gets back to LA, it could be the Chargers, it could be the Rams, it could be whoever it was, I was going to jump on the bandwagon, get their bumper sticker, put the flag in my house. I'm going full bore. So, took Little Rich's first football game. His first game was the first game that the Rams played. They played the Seahawks opening day. Great day. They won 9-6. It was a barn burner.
How was the weather?
Oh, the weather was. I almost cussed. It was brutal. So to get the fam in there, and I'm a Rams fan now. So that's the one thing I'm focused on. I'm not super fan Gelman over here wearing the Jets, but Browns.
Well, it goes into this question. What?
Rams beat the Jets last year.
Did you know?
That was impressive.
It wasn't impressive. You guys weren't impressive. It's not impressive. That's not a big win. That's not a big win.
Huge.
Well, it takes us into this question from Gary, who wants to know, will the Browns select Uncle Rico? Is that what that says?
There's another movie you haven't seen.
What haven't I seen?
Hey guys, listen. I need complete silence in the studio.
If you give a shout out to Kelly, I will literally
everyone
cut us off.
Everyone. That's a good idea. I will. Don't, Kelly, your shout out's coming soon. Do not give Allie movie references. It won't work. She won't get it. We'll have to spin off and talk for 2 minutes about.
What is this movie, though?
It's called Napoleon Dynamite. It's amazing. It's a great
I've
movie.
never seen it.
She's never seen it. Do not give her movie references. And don't start sending them in because we're just going to start ignoring them because it goes sideways. Every time you guys do this. Every time you do it, it goes sideways. Should they draft Miles Turner? So Miles Turner's been getting Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Miles Turner. They should draft him. They should draft Miles Turner because he's not busy right now. But no, I like Turner. He's a good kid. We're just joking a little bit. Anyways, but Garrett, Warren Sapp said he doesn't have a motor, so Warren Sapp was all over him. Steve Spiro, our athletic trainer, we get into this argument. He's like, you shouldn't draft him, blah, blah, blah. You should draft a quarterback. That's your need. You should draft a quarterback. And it's like, wait a second. There is no quarterback out there worth taking number 1. There's not. There are quarterbacks, and your need can be a quarterback, but let's look at this. You shouldn't go best talent, or you should go best talent, not what your need is. I think you should go, unless it's like.
Isn't that what just happened with the Rams quarterback?
Yeah, they weren't sure because he hadn't run an NFL-style offense like Jared Goff. Mm-hmm. He hadn't done that. He basically was a read quarterback where he would just sit in shotgun, so he'd never been under the center reading things and reading the defense. So he's always been just give me lots of wide receivers and I'm just going to pick you apart. And his numbers were historic, so his arm is great. But it's just different in the NFL because they can change things quite a bit. But I think you should go after the best player available, not drafting the 12th best prospect because he's in a position that you need.
Michael wants to know. Good talk. Binge watched any shows lately?
I've been watching Game of Thrones. I've been watching Game of Thrones. Not Game of Thrones. Game of Zones. Game of Zones, the cartoon. I watched it. It's
actually really good.
It's really good. But I watched the one today and I was disappointed. They did this whole Mario Chalmers bit but it's just not, like, you guys are better than that. Like, Bleacher Report. You guys okay.
Here we go again. Silence.
Bleacher Report. You guys have this golden nugget that you guys know. But if the NBA players that you're joking with and making fun of love it, you got to expand it. It's got to be better. I'm not saying we need 30-minute episodes, but we need more than a 2-minute episode of Jimmy Butler and Dwayne Wade talking to Mario Chalmers. We need more than that.
That's what today was?
Yeah, and it's gold. It's amazing. It's awesome. But you guys need to up the budget, put it on some sort of show. Go Adult Swim. You need to do it. Apparently, I'm not supposed to talk about Bleacher
Alex
Report.
wants to know, who's the VersaClimber beast?
Oh, Tristan or Champ?
Braun.
No, Tristan or Champ.
If you put anyone next to LeBron James on the VersaClimber, no contest.
You know what I really love is when people want to tell me what's going on inside of where I stand and see with my own eyes. That's what I.
After watching yesterday, I was right there with you.
I'm telling you right now, we won the 2,000-meter sprint, right? Everybody was lined up. We had the 2,000-meter sprint. So we were going 200. Everybody alternates. So it was like no one could do more than 500. So it's 200. Okay, I'm going to do 250. Then you're going to do 150. Okay, then I'm going to
I didn't ask for what team is better.
I'm telling you right now, at the end of the 2,000 workout, Tristan gets on there with 435 feet left, and he pushes through it. Our team beats everybody by 300 feet because Tristan is a monster on that, and Champ is probably second. I'm not saying that LeBron, if he conditioned himself in like a week, but Tristan, let's be honest, Tristan is a 6'7" power forward that has bounce.
He's
and
not
has a wagon.
6'7".
He's 6'7.5", barefoot. I'm just saying, Tristan has a wagon behind him. That boy can move.
Have you seen LeBron's quads?
I have seen LeBron's quads, and I'm telling you right now, if I had to pick a VersaClimber crew, it would.
That wasn't the question.
You asked who the best. Who asked who the best?
The beast was. It was. We're not talking about a team, though.
Tristan would be number one pick.
Okay, number one pick.
Squad, though. Like if you're like, who's your?
Gelman, who's your squad?
Tristan, Champ, and Braun are the three best in the VersaClimber. Champ is the best because he does it like 2 or 3 times a week to keep himself in shape. So he's going to be better conditioned for that thing just in general.
Okay. What did you? Paul wants to know.
I don't care. Paul, I don't care what you want to know.
What do you? Now he's mad.
I don't care.
What do you eat? Is it because someone challenged you?
No, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
We need to go to the comment section.
What do you eat for your post-workout? What did you eat yesterday?
Oh, I can hear myself. Yeah. Okay, I got to turn this down, right? Apparently. That's really. There's actually a tape delay. So does that mean if I like cuss? No, I'm just joking. There's no bleeping. Hey, Allie, what's your favorite Starbucks drink? Richard McGee wants to know.
I don't drink Starbucks. I run on Dunkin'.
There we go. Way to throw her a lob. She only drinks Dunkin'. Fact. People want to know. So Allie, my friend John Russ on here. He wants to know: will there be at Road Tripping Podcast when the season's over?
Oh, that's a tough subject.
Say it, Leia. She got mad. So, again, I was doing podcasts. That's kind of how I got the idea. I was doing the podcast with some friends back in California. Alex Curry, who works for Fox Sports West.
Yeah.
Fox Sports West. Chris McGee, one of my volleyball boys, and Matt Leinart. We were just doing like a low-key podcast, just working on stuff. And so I was like, oh, it'd be cool if we could do it. And Allie was like, oh, you're just going to do it without me and Channing? And I was like, oh, apparently not. So it all hinges. Look at her. She's so mad and I'm calling her out. So
I'm not mad.
It all hinges on Allie and Channing. Basically, Allie, because Channing's going to go to Portland and just disappear. He could care less. He could care less. I'm okay. I would love to keep doing it and then to get the band back together. When the season starts, we talked about having Channing and Allie come out to California and just recording for like 3-4 days, just so we have podcasts to put out. So we have put out plans to keep the podcast going. What are your thoughts, Allison?
I'm all for that. I am all for that. I just needed to know. I'm a communications major. I'm a communicator. So it's like, as long as you explain your intention and what you want to do, then we're good. But sometimes Richard fails to communicate. So, with that said, Kate, Kate, is this you? You, Kate? Oh, okay. Kate, what type of coverage will Fox Sports Ohio have throughout the playoffs? Are you sure it wasn't you, Kate? Just so you know, of course, now moving on for the rounds that will remain throughout the playoffs, however long the guys want to continue to play. Fox Sports Ohio will have full coverage pre and post game only. So make sure you tune in to our station, of course. We have a lot of things to cover. I know the other day, Mitch, one of the best shooters out there, Photogs, he was at practice, and he got so much footage of the guys during their rest time.
Yeah.
Getting after it, working out behind the scenes, what these guys go through in terms of getting their bodies, minds, and everything ready for the next series. So we've got plenty of coverage, and we'll have you all the way through until the guys decide they're done.
Yeah, we're going to keep showing
Fox Sports Ohio pre and post game.
Yeah.
Make sure you're there.
And then we start the summer. Then the summer 4-man volleyball tour starts. I'll tell you guys. Hey, Ben, you know I'm going to give a shout out.
I don't know who wants to know this,
Team
but
Fletch.
I don't know who wants to know this, but you're supposed to demonstrate your favorite yoga pose. Downward dog?
Oh,
Upward dog?
man.
No, child pose.
Child pose.
He snapped Channing yesterday, for those of you who follow him. Channing sleeping during yoga instead of breathing. And
Yeah,
breathing
yoga
through on his
was a
side.
wrap.
But if you guys would have seen what Richard was doing, he was in child pose.
I was in child pose.
The entire time.
I was in child pose. That was it. Like, that's my favorite. I go to child pose at any point in time. It's fun. Like, I wouldn't say it's because I own a yoga studio, but
It's because he owns a yoga studio.
But because I had done this at other yoga studios, that was part of the fun, is that me and my boys, whenever we would just get tired, we'd start talking, making noises, like, this sucks, and then just go into our own stuff. And the teacher would always come over until they got to know you, and then they'd be like, Richard, just shut up and do it. And then you're like, fine. Yeah.
So you're going to demonstrate?
I'm not demonstrating anything. Do you understand? We just did 2 VersaClimbers and all that other stuff.
Aman? I think it's Aman.
No, Allie.
Aman wants to know who would play you in a movie.
Who would play me in a movie?
Yeah.
Oh, The Rock. But see, he'd have to gain some weight and get a little bit more buff in order to play me. We have a similar bald head, similar skin tone. We have similar awesome tattoos. So, but it'll probably...
That's up for debate.
Yeah, it'll have to... Probably The Rock, but, you know, he'd probably have to beef up a little bit, do a cycle or two. What did it say? Somebody wanted to know, who do you find funnier, me or Channing? Who was that?
Hands down.
Did you see the guy who said he met you once at IKEA and you had human or dog poop emoji on your shoes and laces?
I'm going to say this really honest. I've never been to IKEA in my life.
You're lying. Ever?
Ever? No, I'm not. I was going to say something arrogant, so I'm not going to say that.
On to the next.
Yo, so stand-up comedy in front of a crowd, me or Channing? Channing.
Oh, you.
Yeah, Channing.
I would give you that.
Channing that's not where he excels.
Well, unless you know Channing, because if you don't, he could tell some pretty good stories and no one would know if they're true or not, but basically they're probably not.
Yeah, but if no one knows Channing, they're just going to look at him. Channing's funnier when you know him. I will say this. No one knows if Channing's true. So, Channing had been talking about Zenrobi, the company that sent clothes. He's, you got a box coming, blah, blah, and I asked him for it. Nothing, right? He's like, I didn't send you a box. And I was like, Channing, can you give me a person's information so I can thank them for whatever? And he was like, well, I do it through my agent, so I just do it through them. I'm like, Channing, can you get me a contact person so you don't have to be the middleman? He's like, yeah, I prefer. But they sent me these pants. These pants are really, really comfortable.
They don't fit you.
They do fit me.
They're a little short.
That's how they're supposed to be worn.
Oh, that's the style?
Yes. You want me to pull them all the way down? Look, now they go all the way down. That's how they do. But they're supposed to be elastic, and that's how they're supposed to fit. Those look like they don't fit. Why are they frayed at the bottom?
It's the style.
Oh, wow, Allie.
It's not the style. Hey, Mary wants you to know. This is just a...
Mary wants me to know something? Mary, quite contrary.
She wants you to know that next time you're in L.A., bring the fam for dinner, because she makes great chicken paprikas. She grew up in Cleveland.
We're in L.A. L.A. is a large city, one of the largest in the world.
Just take a guess. Walk into a restaurant and ask.
Yeah. You got to let me know. You got to let me know.
Do you got anything?
What?
I'll keep going.
No, keep going. Okay. I'm looking. Once I find something.
Rob wants to know who controls the music in the locker room.
We've answered that question.
No, we haven't.
Yes, we have. Bron controls it. Yeah, Bron. Well, it's just
DJ Montage.
DJ Montage. He doesn't play it. DJ Montage is more smooth beats, like just more jazz beats at dinner. Like at dinner tonight, we're gonna go to dinner. where DJ Montage will be crushing it.
You'll have DJ Montage will play music at a restaurant.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. DJ Montage. Bron can do whatever he wants. We were trying to get breakfast. We went to practice in Indiana, right? And so we go by Capitol Grill is right next. And somebody was like, yo, I think they have brunch here. And he's like, Capitol Grill has brunch? He's like, yeah, I swear I saw a sign. So he goes there. It was like 11:30, right? And they were like, oh, I'm sorry, brunch ends at like 11. So he's saying this to like me, Bron, DJ Montage.
Did he know who LeBron was? Like, did he recognize or see LeBron?
If I were to, never mind. And so all
I'm
of a
just
sudden,
saying, I didn't know if he was present.
Bron goes, can I talk to the chef? And I was just like, oh, geez. So we started walking away, right? Because it's attached to the hotel. So as we're walking out, and the lady comes back, she's like, hey, the chef said, and I'm talking about this was like, we went from inside the restaurant, got halfway out to the elevators, and they were like, oh, the chef said that they would make blueberry pancakes and all this stuff on the menu. Yeah, sometimes it's good to be Bron.
Blueberry pancakes.
Yeah, blueberry pancakes, steak
favorite.
and eggs at like 12 o'clock on a Saturday. It was
I could do without steak, but blueberry pancakes.
Yeah, whatever.
What's the funniest, Joe wants to know, what's the funniest, best trash talk you've ever said or someone has said to you? Do you talk trash?
I don't really talk that trash. I talk more trash to my teammates. I think the two things that I would say, we were in Indiana, and this was back in my day when I was scoring a lot of points. And somebody was like harassing me. Some guy was sitting front row with his girl trying to show off, right? And he's chirping. You're kind of not, because you don't want to give these people the attention because all they really want is a story. And so this guy's sitting next to his girl, and it's towards the end of the game. We're beating them, and she's like, oh, Jefferson, you suck. And it's like, so you don't look at him, you look directly at his girl. Like, hey, is that your guy? Right? And she kind of like smiles, and she starts blushing. And like he wants to brag, right? Like, yeah, that's my girl, blah, blah. So then you look straight at her and goes, you're underachieving. And then you just keep going and walk away. His whole day is his mind is screwed, her mind is screwed. Yeah, that was a fun one. Then another time, we were playing in Miami.
He never trash talks, though.
No, I don't, because this is like, we do this for a living. This is why I try and tell people, you bought a ticket, even if you're a season ticket holder, you bought a ticket, and you're like, I'm going to get really close, and I'm going to yap and yell. But I've been doing this for 16 years. Like, if you include college, I've been doing this for almost 19 years. So I've heard everything that you could possibly say, even if it's private, public, whatever it is. But I also have been around guys that talk trash to crowds for a living, right? So I know the things that you can say, right? So I was 25 years old. This is before Miami got D-Wade, and we used to party because they were terrible. So you used to go out till 5 o'clock in the morning and to destroy their team. It was so disrespectful because they would hear that you were out, then you would go beat them by 25. So I was coming back to the bench one time, right? And every once in a while the crowd gets really silent. Maybe someone's shooting free throws. Some guy yells, hey, Jefferson, you need to stay out of live, right? So the whole crowd and everybody can hear it, and then you hear the giggles. So then you just turn to him and say, well, tell your girl to stop calling me, and I will. And then it was just like the crowd erupts, and everyone just starts killing this guy. And it's like, dude, I have a million one-liners for you if you want to play this game. So most of the time, I'll just tell the fans, I'm like, be nice. Be nice. We do this for a living now. But you see fans. So we were playing in Indiana, and there was these fans harassing.
They were pretty good.
They were good, but they were harassing Bron. But you see guys like holding their phone. Bron, you suck. Blah blah. And it's like, dude, if you're
the chosen one,
it's like, but it's like, dude, if you're holding your phone like this, I know you're just trying to record to get a reaction out of me. I know what you're doing. So it was like, we're not going to take the bait. Be slicker than that. In case you were wondering.
I'm going to answer or help to get an answer for a lot of you who I know you want to know the answer to this. Why, when you dunk, do you look at your left hand?
It's an old Shaq move. Shaq used to dunk and look at his, Shaq used to look at his left hand and dunk, right? So I'd dunk it. And not a lot of guys can dunk with their off hand. Not a lot of guys. I started doing that when I was in high school. I take pride in my ability because I have no left-hand layup game. I have no left-hand like scoop or float. Like Kyrie's got the floater off the glass, left hand. I don't have that. I have a left-hand dunk, though, that will catch guys slipping. So whenever I do a left-hand dunk, I just stare at my hand like Shaq did. Because Shaq used to run down the whole floor like this, staring at his left hand. And it's just paying homage to a great, great player in Shaq. I got a lot of love for you, Shaq, even though you beat us in the finals in 01. Hey, so Kevin Arnold wants to know, so what's the Toronto versus Milwaukee watch party going to be like at Ty Lue's house? Allie.
I'm going.
She's going. I knew she'd like that.
I'm going. Fred's going. Brent's going. The whole Ty's great. He obviously extended, he told everyone yesterday to the media, he extended an invite to a lot of the Cavalier front office, operations staff, and so forth. And he ended up reaching out to all of us as well today because we sit there and practice with you guys all the time and we're around the team a lot. He thought we were on the email and we weren't, and so he extended the invite to all of us. So I'm really excited because, of course, he told everyone that we're going to have like a ton of wings fried hard with the sauce on the side.
Oh, yeah. No, T. Lue's a good host. He's a great
It'll be
dude.
fun. I'm excited.
I will say this.
I might Snapchat about it.
People want, Snapchat. Are you going to do it on the,
I will try
you gonna do it
and
on the road
compete
tripping?
our dinner
Not a
with
chance.
your dinner.
Not a chance. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself.
Sounds like a
we're
good
not
idea.
invited. We're not invited. Are you going to do it on the road tripping snap?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, there we go. What was I going to say?
That's a good idea. Okay, Mark wants to know.
I don't care what Mark wants to
If you could drop Channing off anywhere in the world and make him stay there for a week, where would it be?
If I could drop Channing off anywhere in the world and make him stay there, there are some things that I could say, but I can't say them publicly. I can't say them publicly.
So where would you take him?
I don't care. I don't care where Channing goes. He's probably going to end up following me back and do the exact same thing. That's what Channing's going to do. That's what. This is what I want to talk about. People keep asking me, who do we want to win the game? I'll tell you who I want to win the game.
You did this with something. Was it something I
said,
swept?
Yes. This is who we want to win the game. We want Milwaukee to win the game. We want Milwaukee to win. What?
Why?
Why do we want Milwaukee? Look at you. You are so taken aback. I want Milwaukee to win the game. I didn't say the series. We don't care who wins the series.
Oh,
but
because then they won't have practice tomorrow.
then we won't have practice tomorrow. T. Lou said this, guys, if Toronto wins, we're going to have practice tomorrow. If Milwaukee wins, you'll have Friday off. So we are rooting for Milwaukee to win. I don't care who wins the series. I think both teams, have their own, pluses and minuses to them. But, yeah, he says, I want them to win.
Vanessa, has LeBron ever taken you to Swenson's? Have you had Swenson's?
No. What is that?
Swenson is like the awesome.
You guys remember Katie Swanson? Swamis.
Who's that? Is that a movie too?
Samsonite. We can't do movie quotes with Allie. That's one of the great.
Samsonite is the brand of my suitcase.
It's this brand of your suitcase? God, I knew it was something like that.
Swenson is an awesome burger joint in Akron.
In Akron? Oh, yeah, no, Braun has not taken me on a date to Akron. Thanks. No.
I'm just going to throw this out there. I think Kewpie in my neck of the woods may be a little better than Swenson.
We don't know.
Alan, your favorite team to play against in Arizona?
What do you mean? In Arizona? What do you mean?
When you were at Arizona.
When I was at Arizona? Arizona State was always good because they sucked and we beat them every single time. I was 6-0 versus Arizona State. They actually had Eddie House was on their team. They had good players. They asked a question. It's not a position. Well, I just really enjoyed playing against Arizona State. Their fans were so polite. Like, what do you mean? This is not a humble moment. This is. I told them no. My mom went to Arizona State. My sister-in-law went to Arizona State. I could have gone to Arizona State, but I chose to win, and so that's why I went to Arizona. So that's my favorite. That's my favorite team to play by far. Oregon schools was the most fun trip. The Oregon schools were the most fun trip. Let me tell you about the Oregon schools. So as a conference, Oregon is a great school to play in, right? And I want to know about your favorite trips. But so what happens is we don't fly private. So Oregon State. You'd play Stanford, Cal. You'd go Washington State. You'd go Arizona State, and then you would go UCLA, USC. So every trip that you would make before it became the Pac-12 was a Thursday to Sunday trip. Mm-hmm. So you would play on Thursday. You would leave school on Wednesday. You would play on Thursday, have Friday off, play on Saturday, and because you don't do commercial flights, you would stay the night on Saturday night and then leave Sunday on the first flight out, which poses a lot of problems for our team. Because if you win Saturday night, you get to go walk around campus, the other team's campus, and just pillage the town. So we would typically try and win that Thursday game, Oregon, but because Corvallis and Eugene are so close, like if you knew guys on other teams or stuff, you would just go to a house party, you would party. Like we were very fortunate where our team was always like top 5 in the country or top 10 in the country, so it was a big deal when we would play there. So when we would show up to house parties, it was always a good team. That's why UCLA, USC wasn't a good trip, Arizona State wasn't a good trip, Cal, Stanford, they're a bunch of nerds, so they weren't partying. But Oregon State, those kids used to get after it. What was your favorite trip, Allie?
I had a few. We've exhausted all those.
We've exhausted all this.
I had a few.
That was lame. Oh, there we go. That one had good distance.
I have a few. My sophomore year, we played a tournament over Christmas in Miami, Florida. And Miami played, I forget who they played before us, but they lost. So we ended up playing Maine and we won.
Oh, wow.
So we went to like an underground club afterwards. We thought we were cool. My junior year, we went to Hawaii for a week. We only played 2 games. We were there from Tuesday to Tuesday, and I was actually injured. So I just
enjoyed life.
Got to enjoy Hawaii. And then my senior year, we did a trip where we started at UTEP on Tuesday, and it was the worst game ever that we could have ever played. Wow. And it's over Thanksgiving, and then you don't play again until we had a tournament at New Mexico, the Lobos. Have you ever played there? The hill running up?
The Lobos. Wait, is that? Yeah, New Mexico. That's the pit. It's the pit.
The pit.
I played there.
You did?
Yeah, Lute Olson said he would never play there. We got cheated so bad. A kid made like a kid literally like in 2 seconds caught the ball at their free throw line, drove all the way down and shot a 3-pointer to beat us. Lute Olson was like, we will never
But
be
it's
coming.
cheating?
No, it was in 2.2 seconds. Basically, the clock started about a second and a half late.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, he was like, we'll never come back here again.
Well, we ended up playing the worst game on Tuesday. We had to sit through Thanksgiving with that on your plate, and then, no pun intended, and then that weekend we had the New Mexico tournament, and we won the tournament. So shout out to Coach Collett because she put up with us. It was probably the worst time of her life, but then the happiest time of her life. So it was a good tournament.
That sounds like coaching.
Yeah. I actually want to know this.
Tell me.
Will we ever, Alan, this is for you as well, will we ever get Coach Lou, do you think, on the podcast?
He's asked to be on it.
He has.
But this is what
all the coaches have. Damon Jones has asked to be on it.
Jones will never be on our podcast. That would immediately kill any credibility we have on the podcast. Like, any credibility we have is completely gone when it comes to him. No, I would love to. Honestly, the podcast is so awesome. Like one of the referees that you know, he'll remain nameless. But we saw him after the Indiana game. He did the Indiana game, and we see him at a dinner with his son. He's like, "Hey, Richard, Channing, tell me about this podcast." So it was like people are like, I would love to have a referee on there. I would love to have lots of people on.
Maybe you could do that this summer.
Allie, a little defensive.
Byron. I had a crush on a kid named Byron in 7th grade. Who was Rookie of the Year in the NBA?
Malcolm Brogdon.
Brogdon from
And
Milwaukee?
I'll tell you why, because I got cheated, and I'll tell you how I got cheated. Because if you average 10 points a game for a playoff team, like that is like averaging 17 points a game for a crappy team. So the fact that, like, don't get me wrong, I think what the process, what Joel Embiid did, 36 games is too small of a sample size. Then Saric played really well for them. But Brogdon had to play 82 games this year. What?
Sorry.
What did I say? Saric?
Sark.
Whatever, sorry.
You'll understand when you get in the business.
I'm not in the business.
Is important.
But I'm just saying, no, but Brogdon had to play in 82 games, and every game mattered. Like, he had to fight. If he made a rookie mistake, and on top of it, you combine that with the fact that, you know, he also had to deal with the rookie wall. So, like, if he averaged 10 points a game as a rookie, like, that, to me, that's the Rookie of the Year. He is by far the most impactful rookie in the entire NBA, and his numbers are actually pretty good. Like, Saric averaged 12 points a game, and Brogdon averaged 10.
Nice. Good job. I have 2 really good ones for you.
Who was Rookie of the Year, though, when you were?
Pau Gasol, but that's so overrated.
No big deal.
That guy is so overrated.
How many championships has he won?
Okay. Whatever. No, but the difference is that my team went to the NBA Finals, and I averaged. I was second in Rookie of the Year voting, but I didn't make all rookie team. But it was like you had Jason Richardson averaging 14 points a game on a team that was 80 games below 500, and they did absolutely nothing. But here I am, 10 points a game, playing on a playoff team, having to bring it every single night and not given that opportunity to just, hey, Richard, here, go play basketball. It's like, no, if you make a mistake, if you there's penalties. And so I think that doesn't get enough credit when it comes to the Rookie of the Year voting.
Adam Silver, the NBA. Richard is obviously still not over.
No, I think it needs to be adjusted. And that whole 26 thing, that's crazy.
I don't know what you're talking about. Brooke, though, wants to know if a Touch Tunes machine doesn't have Cisco, what is your choice number 2 to play on repeat? Which I'm so sorry, Dover Gardens in Westlake, that this guy
Dover Gardens
ran all of you out of there with the thong song.
Who doesn't like the thong song? They just did a remix to it.
I didn't say, but to listen to it 13,000 times in a row. It's not cool.
Don't apologize for me.
Jimmy Hanlon.
I am unapologetic about it. So my go-to, okay, so the original bit was done by a guy, Maloney, I can't remember. It was a comedian. I'm big on watching the comedy stations. I was trying to pick up because she has good ones. I'm big on watching, listening to the comedy stations.
I got it going.
So somebody else, but the original bit was done by What's New Pussycat by Tom James. So he did it, and no one knew he did it, but I put it on social media so people kind of know what I'm up to. But I think What's New Pussycat would be my second song. But funny.
I would probably throw my glass at the.
But everybody knows the thong song, and everybody likes it. That's why it's on every jukebox.
Of course, everyone does. But the fact that you play it over and over and over, who is that song?
Are you upset?
Who is that song by?
Are you
over
upset?
And over and over?
Are you upset? Are you upset about the bit?
Hey,
the joke
Jimmy
is funny.
Hanlon. Do you know who Jimmy Hanlon is?
No.
Jimmy Hanlon works for Fox Sports Ohio. He's a golf pro. He's a golf expert. He has a show, and he said he wants to know, when are you ready to my card's down there. Yeah, he wants you to tee it up, but he also wants you to go on the road with him as a co-host.
Jimmy, good to meet your acquaintance. Jimmy, good to meet you. I suck at golf, so please don't take offense to me not knowing.
I would love to see you swing a club.
No, I'm actually pretty good.
Oh, you are?
No, I took golf.
Humble as well.
Yeah, it's not a humble brag. No, I'm not a good golfer, but my swing. I took golf lessons when I was in San Antonio. That was all I had going for me, really, at that point in time. Popovich had canceled all he had canceled all of the shoot-arounds, so it was just like. But no, I've swung a golf club. Is that what they're called? They're called clubs. Yeah. Oh, really, Miss? I don't know a movie. You want to judge somebody? Jimmy, I would love to do anything with you. Apparently, it's kind of hard to get a job in the media these days. So I am looking for opportunities when I retire. So yeah, if you want me to co-host a show with you, that's why I'm here with Allie until you call Kelly. I love you, Kelly. I'm being serious. This summer, I'll be free around July 1st. Around July 1st, Kelly, a little week co-host. I'll even take a day just to put it on my reel. Kelly, live. Guys, start this. Hashtag Ask Richard.
Janie wants to know, did Kevin Love cook for you at his house the other day?
Oh, Kevin can't cook. Look at him. I think when Kevin was cooking.
What was the whole story behind he was being a brat?
Oh no, his chef, he's got an amazing chef. Like his chef does everything. So he brings down these burgers, has all the French fries, has everything kind of dialed in. He puts it down. The first words out of Kev's mouth, like, "Where's the avocado?" And I was like, "Really, Kev?" Well, that's the first thing. Not that it's amazing, it's good.
This is for my girlfriend Ashley. You've met Ashley before.
Oh, jeez.
Ashley wants to know, if I had to be stuck in a room for 24 hours with Channing or RJ, who would I pick? Channing, duh.
Definitely take Channing.
Duh.
Definitely
You knew that,
Channing.
Ashley.
That's why.
Shout out. She's in Florida, living it up in the sun. which it's nice you're not
Hanging out with that bean dip there, Ash.
She can cook. She is a good cook.
Yeah.
Michael wants to know, Allie, what's your favorite post-game interview?
Your favorite? Channing. She knows it's Channing because she doesn't know what Channing's going to say. She has no idea what Channing's going to say.
Kate just said, no, Richard, it's for Allie. It's not for you. With that said, I used to love doing post-game interviews with Channing, or even halftime, because he's the easiest interview to have, because you really don't even have to ask a question, because he just kind of tees you up and he just goes, when really I'm supposed to be the one that tees him up. But after game 3, when I asked him to walk me through the possession where he hit that shot, and he goes, I don't know, something happened over here and something happened over here, and then I hit the shot. And then he didn't think that it was a game-winning shot.
He's not lying. This is how oblivious Channing is to what is going on, right? I was like, we were walking out. We walk out of the arena because it's kind of cleared out.
Richard and Channing walk back to the hotel.
We walk back to the hotel. We're just kind of in our own little worlds, right? And so Channing's like, people are like, yo, good game winner, or tough shot. People are kind of yelling at us and stuff. He's like, but it wasn't a game winner. It was like 2.5 minutes left. I'm like, Channing, it was 54 seconds to go. He's like, really, was it? That is Channing Frye, ladies and gentlemen. It is a playoff game. It is the most epic comeback in the history of the NBA. And Channing thinks that the shot that he hits with 54 seconds, that there's 3 minutes to go on the clock. That is Channing.
Is there anyone, though, on the team that because I don't think there is, that you get more excited for when something good happens than Channing?
No, he made that 360 pass, and I'm telling Griff and our...
He made the 360 pass.
Channing caught a ball and turned and did like a 360 pass in game 4.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so like, they were like, Griff and Trent were like, Richard, your face on that pass. Because I was like, oh, did anybody else see this? I've never seen him do an athletic move, and I've known him for 20 years. I'm talking about...
You have a really good way of just sliding those little one-liners in there.
I'm saying, like, he can get a dunk, but he's 7 foot. Like, we go...
But he has admitted he doesn't really jump well, so it doesn't matter if you're 7 foot.
We've seen his tip dunk. Shout out to Golden Hoops and all the things that he does. But we've seen his tip dunk, right? Like, he has athleticism. Mm-hmm. But as far as an athletic move, like, he jumped up, caught the ball in the air, turned it to his back, and threw a ball out to somebody for a three-pointer and assist.
Speaking of this... We came up with the stat today. Just in case anybody is messing, Rafa sent this to Channing today. Just in case anybody is messing with your J on social media, Channing Frye's career three-point percentage in 21 postseason games with the Cavs, 54%. That is good for the top spot in franchise history.
Well, that's why we don't listen to fans. That's why.
What did you think of? Oh, I guess we were on the road for 3 and 4.
What?
The fans got better in game 2.
Oh, the fans! You guys were amazing in game 2. Game 1.
You called out. Was it something I said with Fred?
Yeah, game.
On Fox Sports Ohio.
Game 1. You guys were kind of looked like you guys were at a polo match. You know what I'm saying? A lot of golf clapping, and just like, oh, well, we only won by 1, and we were up. It seemed like it was like an afternoon stroll for you guys. It was like free attendance. No. If you're going to pay money for those games and those seats, then we expect the fans to bring it to another level. I think that's what's awesome about it.
You said it, I think, too, that if they expect things out of you guys, then you can expect things out of them.
Agreed.
I thought that was a really good point.
No, the fans hold us to a very high standard. If we don't win by enough, if we don't,
as they should,
as you should, that is fine. But part of a mutual respect that I think we have with the fans, and I think the fans have with how hard we work, is that you guys want us to dominate, you guys want us to be aggressive, and you guys want us to show it on the court. Well, then we expect you guys to be the best fans in the entire world, and we know it. We've seen it throughout the playoffs. We lost 1 playoff game last year in the entire playoffs, and even that game we had a double-digit lead. At home, it was game 4. We had a double-digit lead in that game. So that game was one of the games that we felt like got away. It wasn't like a team came out and kicked our butts. But I'll tell you this, if we don't lose a home game in this playoffs, like there's a high probability that we're going to repeat. And all of that is not because, like I said, Chicago, New York, Toronto, these teams have home court advantages because guys might go out, guys might party, they're fun cities, guys, there's distractions. In Cleveland, no disrespect, but there's not distractions. Guys are really just sitting in their hotel, making sure they're rested, they're getting a lot of sleep, they're not going out partying. They're just sitting there, one, because they know how good we are at home, but it's like that home court advantage is all because of the environment that the fans create and the intensity that they bring on every possession.
So we're going to wrap this thing up. I'm going to ask you one more time. Who do you hope to play in the next round? It starts on Monday.
I want Game 7 to go into quadruple overtime, and then I want it to be called because of rain, and then then after that, I want them to reschedule the game for the next day because there's a leak in the stadium. Then they do it again. So then they'll start the overtime over. Then I want to go to another 3 overtime, basically just screwing the entire NBA schedule so that we can get to a spot of just guys are exhausted.
Do you remember what happened when you did a similar thing on Snapchat last year?
What did I do?
We basically got held out of Canada because of you.
There's a song by the creators of South
Park.
You got it. Yeah, the arthritis is really kicking in.
Do you need the back truck
The
to help
arthritis
you?
is kicking in.
Okay.
No, they didn't kick. I was held in customs multiple times this year. So I'm going to avoid that. It's no disrespect. I love Toronto. I love Canadians. I love foreigners. My son, barely an American. Both of them. So why you got the look on your face? No, both of my sons are English. So they have dual citizenship, so they're barely Americans. Sorry, we're not allowed to talk. They're not gonna get like kicked out of the country. Don't worry, guys. Like, the green cards are fake, but they do have them.
I know you guys. You are.
What?
What? I know you guys take it game by game, but just so you know, the sooner you get the series over with, the sooner we can come back and do another Facebook Live.
Let's go. We need to do a Road Tripping Pod Live. We couldn't do it because the schedule was just too hectic, and I know you guys enjoyed it on Fox Sports Ohio, so we want to do another one of those. We will do it, but unfortunately, because the series, we don't know who's going to win, we couldn't schedule it, but we're going to schedule it. I think we should do a lunchtime one.
Yeah, I agree.
A lunchtime, let people come, check it out, let you guys at work catch it on Facebook. I think it'd be awesome.
Until then, thanks
for
tuning in.